Hey friends, welcome to Andy's Audio Crap, where we talk about audio gear in all of its glory. Today is another review of a bookshelf speaker. I'll describe what's going on here in just a second.
This video's sponsor is Andy's Audio Crap on eBay, where you'll find used parts, new old stock, kits, and occasionally gear. Thanks for your support.
All right, I was able to acquire a slew of bookshelf speakers all at once. A buddy of mine found a guy who just was basically unloading, so I bought all of them. Give him a set for doing the running and such. But this is a Martin Logan bookshelf speaker. It is a Motion 35 XT, and this is actually my buddy's, not part of the collection, but the collection's what inspired this whole review session of all these speakers. I love Martin Logan. I grew up in Lawrence, Kansas, where Martin Logan is based out of, or at least had a manufacturing facility there, and I was always quite proud of that in the hometown. And as a result, I've always stayed pretty loyal. My main listening speakers are Martin Logan Sequel 2s. And they just absolutely, they look beautiful. This speaker is very well built. It's got a metal guard on the front, and it is magnetic. So we'll just remove that. It's very heavy. The whole speaker is very heavy. So we'll go through some of the specs on this speaker and then describe why I have these here. The Motion 35 XT, which there's an XI out now, is a 92 dB sensitivity, which is, you don't need a lot of watts to push this thing. And it is two-way design, obviously. It is a 4-ohm speaker, so you have to have a 4-ohm compatible amplifier. What I was testing it on, all of these speakers on, was an IEMA A07, and this IEMA has been featured in another video where I removed the op amp and put in a really good op amp. There's no magic happening here, and there's no Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to it, so you're not going to change the sound. I used line out on a CD player and listened to each set of speakers, the entire album Pump from Aerosmith. Love that album, grew up with that album. And cabling is just kind of mid-grade cabling. It's nothing really super special, and it's nothing super cheap. So all of this stuff was the same on every set of speakers. So when I go through and describe how it sounded to me, yeah, that's what you're gonna get. Anyways, going back, it's 50 hertz to 25 kilohertz. Now, judging by some of the claims of the other speakers in their low end, I would say that they did this one really conservative, because it can get pretty far down. It doesn't need a subwoofer to accompaniment if they're positioned correctly. And they are 20 to 250 watts. This is my desk setup, my office setup right now. It's a set of Beovox by Bang & Olufsen. I found these at a kind of a thrift shop type of scenario. The guy wanted $100 for them, and more like a hawk shop actually. But the guy was pretty generous with me, because when we looked him up, the only ones that have sold in recent history sold for like $1,000. So I don't know that they're really worth that. The mid-range is absolutely killer good. The voice that comes out of these is so distinct and so pronounced that it's just a wonderful experience all the way around. They're not particularly great at bass or anything, but they're good. I really enjoy these speakers. They are 88 dB sensitivity, which means you need a little bit more wattage to push them. They're obviously a three-way design. If the cup's in the way, I apologize. 42 hertz all the way up to 22 kilohertz. And I will say that even though these claim 50 hertz and these claim 42 hertz at the low end, these can get way further, way more pronounced bass out of them. The claim is that these are 120 watts. Sure, Maybe that's why they were called 120.2. I don't know. There's a whole series. I think there was a 180 and a 60. All right, so these are like 80s, 90s speakers, I suppose. I don't know that to be the case. The Klipsch were the previous generation that was in my office. Again, these are my office speakers, and these are going candidates to take over that role. And then the Klipsch were not by themselves. They were accompanied with a subwoofer, so they actually had quite a bit more bass than they would indicate just by being bookshelf speakers. So I did enjoy those speakers quite a bit. I just did not enjoy having the subwoofer there all the time, so they had to go. They are a two-way design. Again, 94 dB sensitivity, very low wattage, can push these 8 ohms, which just about every amp can push that. And they are 62 kilohertz to, 62 hertz to 60 or 24 kilohertz, stumbling all over myself there, and 85 watts to 320. Now, I would not push over 100 into these. I don't know that they could take it. Now, as a baseline, just because I love the Martin Logans that I have in here, they're sequel 2s. I keep pointing to them. They're over here and over there. They are kind of my gold standard. I really, really enjoy those speakers. The sound is just immersive. These are Martin Logans, and it's not quite the same immersive experience. They do 89 dB sensitivity, kind of a mid-range there, two-way with a massive mid-range tweeter, 6 ohm, 28 to 24K, and then 20 to 400 watts. Let's talk about how these sound. Absolutely wonderful. They are not chirpy. They're not bright. They're very, very, if I had to describe it, I would say they're much like a reference speaker in that they are just mellow all the way through the curve. It's like they come on, they go straight, and then they come off. And we'll observe that on the testing that you'll get to see here in just a second. My hearing is just a little bit on the old side, as is most people. And I look for speakers that compensate for that. And so as a result, these aren't necessarily like a good fit for me. They probably are for somebody who just wants one set of small footprint speakers, but wants really good quality sound. And these will fit that bill. But for me in my office, I need something a little bit more bright, but not fatiguing. Let's be clear about that. These speakers, honestly, talking about fatiguing, are like the opposite of fatiguing. They actually would be really, really good, like coffee shop speakers that are just, I'm gonna put 4 of these around the room, and man, you've got some really pleasant, very enjoyable sound. These don't sound cheap at all. They sound very, very good. Martin Logan did an excellent job. Well, I'm going to let you listen to them, let you decide whether you like them or not. Like and subscribe, please, and hopefully you'll get to watch the other videos. There's some others that are really good as well. One thing that I forgot to mention, I'm going to break in here real quick, is that these, since they're metal, Martin Logan does a lot of metal covers. They are really good for guarding the speakers, but you do want to take the speaker guards off when you're listening to them because there is a resonance to them. Hot tip, don't listen to these with the cover on.